It's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. To everyone, tuning in, checking out, whether you're driving, walking, sitting, whatever you're doing, maybe you're sitting in a treatment center or a shelter, um, listening on a phone, you know, you hear a podcast or something, and it gets you hooked. Anyways, so my name is David Terrio. I am the founder of Uplift Hope Down with Dope Recovery Services, and I am a person in long term recovery. Before I tell you anything, about, I want to talk about addiction triggers. Um, but before that, I want you to hear who I am because my story is your story. Um, it is a story of a million of Americans who were handed circumstances that they didn't choose. They found themselves reaching for something, anything to make the pain stop. You know, it's supposed to be a safe place. There is no judgment. You know, only the truth, hope. You, tools that you can start using day to help. That's what we straight up forward with this. So I want to take you back to where like it all began because if you're going to understand addiction and triggers and stuff, you really got to understand them. You have to understand the soil that it grew in. I grew up in a system that was supposed to protect me straight up. 13 years in foster care. Fuck, let that number sit for a moment. 13 years from when I was a child, who needed fucking love, who needed care, stability, fucking safety, bring past from placement to placement, state throwing them around wherever the fuck they could. Um, so finally, the state who were my parents, they failed me. Biological parents, failed me. The system failed because I spent 6 years, 6 fucking years of mental, physical, sexual, emotional abuse. No one would listen, but I learned something that no child should ever have to learn, that the world is not safe, that you are on your own. And by the time I was 10 years old, I was already straight survivalist mode. I'm talking, I was a chameleon already, adapting to every environment. And it's crazy, not because I wanted to be tough or anything like that, but because I had no other choices. I really didn't. When you grow up like that, you learn to have to fucking numb the pain. You have to learn to escape. You have to learn to find anything that makes the noise in your head just stay fucking quiet. And for 30 years of my life, substances, heavy addiction, what took over. I'm not saying that to shock you or anything like that. I'm saying it because I need you to know that if I can find my way through after everything that I fucking been through in life, then you can too. I mean, people ask me like all the time, David, why do you do this type of work? Why do you talk about the darkest parts of your life in public? Why? My answer is the same every fucking time. Because right now there's someone sitting in a corner somewhere, maybe in a fucking hospital because they were fucking raped so bad, maybe in a jail cell, maybe in a car, fucking parking lot, maybe a park bench in the cold, and they are waiting for someone to tell them it gets better. Walking and waiting for someone who has been where they are to say, I see you. I was you. I fucking made it. That is why I come up with hope, down with dope, recovery service. You know, I'm here for the communities. Um, there's so many people that don't get no care at all, and it's just fucking crazy. It really is. Um, here for people that nobody else is showing up for. I don't believe, or I do believe, recovery is possible for anybody, any fucking person. It's not just people with resources. We just tell people that families who stuck around, but every single person and that starts with we have to educate you. That's the fucking thing. It starts with understanding your enemy, and then recovery. Your enemy is a name, which is fucking called a trigger. You know. Oh, I need something to drink. Oh God, sorry, but what you just heard is the foundation of everything that everything Up with Hope, Down with Hope stands for.
Hello?
The lived experience, meeting professional knowledge, knowing to move on. How
Добрий
you
вечір.
doing? How are you?
Добрий вечір. Ой, мене непогано чути.
What the fuck?
Як справи?
Yeah, well, I'm David. I'm just gonna walk you through some triggers with addiction
Ой,
and
я не спілкуюся англійською.
yeah, how they affect the brain, why they're so powerful, both in early and long
О,
term recovery.
я
Yeah,
не спілкуюся.
I have
Ой,
no idea what the fuck
Україн.
you're saying.
Україн.
The science behind triggers practical the straight up mindset.
Goodbye.
Yeah, bye. See ya. Strategies could you can
Goodbye.
use it. The fuck yo? I'm trying to do a live. The fuck you want? Um, but behind the mechanisms with our strategies, we can learn so easily today. So I'm going to begin with the important question. You know, what is exactly a trigger? So there come in form. Trigger is easily very said. It's fucking any person, place, thought, feeling, physical sensation, activities. Craving is an urge to use. That's a simple, easiest way to put it. But here's what's happening. Underneath that simple definition, and this is what the fuck, yo. And this is where
No,
science
sir.
becomes important. You know,
No, sir.
we are using our brain and doing its job when at the
Goodbye.
same time learning. You know, the brain has three things called the dopamine pathways. It's a reward circuit of everything, and every time you use a substance, your brain flooded the pathways with dopamine. It felt good. It felt great. You felt relief. And it felt like the pain stopped and your brain said, but remember this, remember everything about this moment and the smell, the place, the people, the feeling that came right before. That's what addiction does to the brain. And it hijacks, it literally takes over your survival feelings that come before. That's what addiction. And so now in recovery, when your brain encounters any cue, any reminder of those moments, it fires those same circuits. And suddenly you have a craving, not because you're weak, not because you don't, um, you know, understand that it is not an excuse to use it, as a power. Because once you know why it's happening, then you choose what to do next. Cravens are real, straight up. They are intense, but research even shows us the average craven peaks between, I think, 15 to 30 minutes, and then it passes. That's what you need to remember. It will rise in a wave, it crests, and it drops off and falls, and your job at that moment is not to fight that wave. Your job is to ride that wave because it passes. And that's what you need to remember, like that, and so there's five categories of triggers. I'm going to start with the one that almost took me out more times than I can count. Emotional triggers. Emotional trigger any eternal feeling that your brain was linked to using. Most people think emotional triggers are like just bad feelings, stress, anger, depression, shame, loneliness, all that fucking shit, anxiety. Um, but all those, they're powerful. But what people in recovery often don't talk about is the positive emotions can be triggering too. Excitement, celebration, falling in fucking love. I mean,
Okay,
we're
goodbye.
talking, getting, a
Okay,
promotion. The brain
goodbye.
learned to use for all of it, then the
Goodbye.
highs and the lows.
Goodbye.
One of the most powerful tools
Yeah.
is
Okay.
emotional
Okay.
triggers, is the
Goodbye.
halt check
Goodbye.
before
Goodbye.
bye. Get the fuck off. Sorry. Like,
Goodbye.
lonely. I'm
Goodbye.
tired because often, what feels
Okay.
like an overwhelming craving um,
Okay.
is actually just one of those basic
Okay.
human
Yes.
needs screaming, for
Oh. Oh.
attention. It needs to
Okay.
be addressed. You need. It's not the craving. The other tool teach emotional labeling. Um, when you feel something, name it out loud, straight up. Say, I notice I am feeling angry right now. There is a neuroscience, something, name it out loud. Say, I notice the activities, the performance cortex, and the rational part of the brain, and it begins to quiet, and it begins to quiet down with the Ulam Dalgala, and lately calm your brain down by naming what we feel. Damn, man. Yo, I'm glad she's gone. That's bad shit. Damn. So, another trigger is we got emotional, so and that's no, emotional, environmental. uh we just did emotional. That's the worst one. So we're talking places, sights, smells, sounds. Excuse me. That's a part of the brain wired to the memory of using the years in recovery. I was driving down the street. I hadn't, been on in a long time. I passed the corner, just the corner, just concrete, with the lamp post, and I could feel it. That pull. It's fucking. It reminds the itch in your chest because the corner held the memory of the brain when you were or in that heavy addiction. When had to get in, you had to let go. That's environmental trigger, and they don't care how long you have been in recovery. Um, they can hit you in year one. They can hit you in year 15. Common environmental triggers include, driving past a bar, liquor store. That's a bad, bad one. Visiting old neighborhoods where you used to use, seeing drug paraphernalia like you are now on the streets, fucking needles everywhere. And I mean fucking everywhere. It's crazy. And it's fucking just getting worse. It's ignorant, honestly. Um, but hearing music that you used to listen to, the smell of alcohol, or it's so so many that you just don't even think about. Even certain times of day, the strategy is simple, but it takes real honesty to map your environment, triggering the environment, how to exit your plan and be ready before you walk in. Know you're out. The plan is your armor. Okay. The five triggers categories, we want the next one. So we got, so physical, physical triggers is the, body based states lower your defenses and it makes you more vulnerable to craving. Straight up, this is a hard one too. When your body feels bad, because your brain starts straight up problem solving the old way. Physical triggers include the chronic pain, and all. I want to spend a moment here because a huge percentage of addiction cases in the country started with pain. Straight up. Prescription pills, back injury, fucking surgery, accident, and suddenly now all of a fucking sudden you're dependent. And no one told you that would happen. So physical pain is one of the most powerful triggers in recovery. And if you're dealing with it, please, please talk to your doctor or counselor. They do make non-medical pain management strategies There's non-narcotic painkillers. You know, fucking the withdrawal symptoms. You don't want that. You don't need that, man. You don't want that. Straight up, your body and your cravings, deeply connected. The solution is not fucking complicated, but it takes discipline. It takes sleep. It takes eating regularly, staying hydrated, moving your body, even a 10-minute walk outside, get a little bit of sun, fucking, just change your brain chemistry, fucking, and when you're sick or in pain, reach out to a support system. I didn't realize cutting out. Sorry, guys. Support system before the craving gets louder and the ability is you can't resist it. And then you also the social triggers might be probably the hardest category for people to act on because they often involve the people that you love, and the social trigger, the person, relationship, any social situation that increases your vulnerability to use. Sometimes the fucking people who love you the most are the biggest triggers. Fuck, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Maybe it's your friends. You use people you shared years of your life with. I literally went into solitude for years, not talking to nobody, fucking straight up by myself. Sometimes the people you love, they are the biggest trigger, and maybe the friends that you're around, it's everything, wants to take you back. Everything's going to try to drag you back. Maybe it's family conflict. It's certain holidays, celebrations, fucking, substances where everywhere is just, a trigger. Isolation. Isolation, relapse, just waiting to happen. But sometimes, the human beings are wired for connection. Simple as that. And when we are cut off from healthy connections, we fill that void. Recovery lives in communities. So here is what I want you to do, build a sober network, like your life depends on it, because it does. Have a sponsor, have a home group, have fucking at least 2 or 3 people you can call at any hour when things are hard, and that feel it's natural support, because the moment that you can stay that clearly and confidentially, you will have given yourself an extraordinary gift. I fucking swear to God, like, it's crazy. It really is. Cognitive triggers, they're the sneakiest out of them. And so these are the thought patterns. The thought patterns, eternal dialogue, the mental scripts, which our addiction uses justify relapse. Is it sound reasonable? They sound like you. That make them think that you're so dangerous. What if cognitive trigger sounds like, um, just one more time, it sounds like, uh, I can handle it. I've been clean long enough. Fucking, it sounds like I deserve after everything I've been through. It's just fucking excuses. It's, it's just nonsense. It's just fucking, this is just really not even worth talking about because, if you've been through it, you got this one in the bag already. You just ask yourself, and you think, actual truth, because what are the real consequences if you act on them? Then replace your recovery back, to addiction. But instead, you deserve this, and try to deserve a good, like a normal life. This would take away everything, and break that broken pattern. you know Now, I'm just going to dig deeper into the cravings, because understanding what it actually happened to your brain when craving is um, hits you. One of the most empowering things and you will ever learn and listen. A trigger fires, your brain sends fucking signals through those dopamine pathways. Pew, 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 fucking. And within seconds, you feel it. And that pull and that urgency and almost physical pressures. And then in 5 minutes, the craving is building. And then it hits to 20 minutes and it has fucking right at its peak. And then if you don't use to bring you subside by 30 minutes, in most cases, it has passed. 30 minutes, that's it. This is the enemy's window. When you are extraordinary thing that happens when you ride out the craving without using. Every single time you experience a craving and do not act on it, you are literally building new neutral pathways. You are teaching your brain to respond to everything craving and surviving that makes it that way. And the next one will be a little weaker. Every day, we'll go, say, in recovery. And architecture of your brain is shifting straight up. You are becoming someone new. You're someone who pretends that addiction never happened, but someone who was mastered what to do when it called. Seriously failed big time, you know. So, um, so let's just get practical. I'm going to give you, 5 tools and use them. Straight up, seriously, practice before you need them, and then when you're ready to go. Tool number 1, urge surfing. That's it. Urge surfing. When the craving hits, instead of fighting it, you deserve it. Close your eyes. If you're in a safe, place to do so, and you breathe and you watch the craving. Take the surfer, watch the wave. You noticing it building. You notice the peaking. You stay on the board, and you know it will fall. You don't have to run it out. You just have to outlast it. Fucking the number with the another good tool would be, it's called the 5 4 3 2 1, the grounding technique. Yeah, name the so 5 things that you see right now. Then you name 4 things you can physically touch or feel. Then 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And by the time you finish that and have interrupted the craving cycle completely, the tool, and then you have tool number 3, which is box breathing, and that's breathing. Yeah, this is messed. Breathing 4 times, like, and I can't remember how it is. Yeah, 4 counts. Hold it for 4 counts, then breathe out for 4 counts. And then breathe back in for 4 counts. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts, and then breathe out 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts. Then repeat 4 times. That's how. Okay, that's how it goes. Fuck. Bleh. Then this directly activates your fucking parasympathetic nervous system and psychologically reduces the intentional of the craving. Then you have tool 4 is the mindful body scan. Sit quietly with your eyes closed and slowly, I mean slowly, scan down your body. Notice where the craving lives. Is it in the chest? Is it in your stomach? The hands? Breathe in. Notice where the craving lives. Place the image and the tension softening where everything. Exhale. Maybe pause. In the reflect method, 3 steps: pause, 2, see stop, an automatic response, you observe, name that trigger, okay? And the feeling out loud, choose continuously, select, and the action of the brain just will, whatever it's learning, it's going to rewire and learn too. No, we are not taking calls right now. No. So, fucking Christ. So, before I fucking done today, it's been a lot. It's a lot talking about triggers and stuff. Even being like in long term recovery, like I have been. But as you can tell, I love chocolate milk. Yeah, I want to speak directly to whoever is listening. Maybe you know who you are. Maybe you're the person who turned, let's say, this video or little podcast thingy on because you're not sure if recovery is even possible for you. Well, maybe you're tired it before and it didn't stick, it didn't work, all right? But maybe you've been using for so long that genuinely cannot imagine a life any other way. And that's exactly how I was, Um, I need you to hear me. I want you to hear me. I want you to think of this. I want you to literally fucking just think of these, what I'm saying right now, okay? I am 30, I was 30 years deep into my addiction, all right? I, I was a child who was pretty much dehumanized. System completely failed me 125%. Um, every statistical reason, to never make it out. I'm talking 11 overdoses. I'm talking major surgeries due to my drug use. I'm talking, you name it. Fucking, you name it. I've been there. Prison, that fucking everything. And I got like 10 years in prison, so fuck that thing. And I'm 44, so, put those numbers together. But we know how the pen is, dog. There's fucking more shit in there than there is on the street, so ain't no thing. But I just need just people, anybody, if it even touches one person and it opens their mind up to something um, different, trying something new. I mean, you're gonna have hard days. There's always gonna be hard days. You're gonna face triggers you didn't see coming. I mean, you will have moments where everything in your wants to go back to the familiar. That is normal. That is part of the journey. The question is never whether the trigger comes. The question you want to ask yourself is what you do when it does come. And I hope today, um, have 5 new tools I just taught you on this little quest of my new thing. Um, you know what triggers are now. You know how to fucking halt check these motherfuckers. Straight up. I'm telling you, it works. I know what the fuck you're thinking. You're like, oh yeah, fucking bullshit. Believe me. Straight up, believe me, dog. I'm telling you. It fucking works, or I would not be fucking here doing this shit. I'm telling you right now, straight up. Um, you know, that's what people don't get. You know, I have, I was in the system so long, 44 years old, still messing around with the motherfuckers, but on the other side, even though every fucking thing that happened to me and they did to me, but you know what? What's the people's nowadays? It ain't their fault. It ain't their fault. I did. I begged. I begged. They had me on Ritalin by the time I was fucking 7, I think. But then just, I don't know, man. That fucking just too much. But you can do the halt check, which is you got this in the bag. You know how to surf a craven. Just ride that wave because it don't last long, and you can do it. And that's when you fucking stand up, walk around, change your mindset, change what the fuck you're doing. Get up, get something going. Open up a magazine, a book, start reading different words that your brain works and just pushes it out, I literally you can rewire your brain. You really can. I wouldn't say that unless it's true. That's the thing with me is just I am real. Fucking, I tell it how it is. I'm simple. I don't fuck around. I believe that because I am you. I believe that motherfuckers need to know the truth, how shit really goes down, the corruption. I'm talking all of this shit, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm. This is for rural communities and people that just want to fucking listen and hear and learn some stuff. Because I am huge, huge on this, and I'm not gonna stop until I get it to where I want. You know, it's up with hope, down with dope, and I founded it. I do have a group on Facebook, a few hundred people, but I just, I'm just proud of everybody um, that is trying. Um, Anybody, anytime can reach out if they have any type of question. Any type of question. Whether it's mental health or addiction or anything, there's no judgment, and um, anything when you talk to me, everything's confidential. It's fucking, I don't break HIPAA laws like all the bigger places do. So, you know, the fuck, I just, but um, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this, like the podcast thing, because nobody's even in here. So, uh, but I did this because I can put it now on platforms so everyone can hear it, and it will reach somebody and make them think, and hopes it helps them out. Because I'm probably gonna start doing um, podcasts and probably videos, all that stuff every day once things get a little bit better here. We'll get the ball jumping, and we will definitely hit recovery and mental health in a way that it's never been hit before. And I have a goal to change and help save people's fucking lives. That's that's why I'm here. It's a passion. There's nobody more passionate. Yeah, because most counselors, I'm not saying all, don't fucking get like that, but literally most counselors, they have no lived experience. So why would you think, what, that someone's gonna go in and talk to you and, like, your counselor says, oh yeah, I understand. How the fuck you understand? you know I just told you I used toilet water and fucking some spit so I could get some shit in my arm. Yeah, I understand. So you're telling me you do that too? Like, what the fuck? No, I mean, like, shit's just fucking crazy. The shit needs to change. The educators need to educate, because that's the thing is we got these younger generations and we're fucked. Okay, you got to think. COVID hit. They were fucking completely stuck at home, and then there was fucking, and then after that everything was fucking remote. um so seriously, shout out to all the kids that are in high school, because that's another thing. I will be coming around and hitting you motherfuckers and teaching you how to disperse naloxone and other things. So, yeah, shit is just fucking it's just getting worse. But someone behind a desk can tell you that it's way better. That's what that's how you lose right there, you know, because there's always a gap. There's always a fucking gap when someone's trying to get healed in their recovery journey, from the detox, from the sober house, or from the sober house to um, rehab, sitting in jail. People sitting in jail for fucking, let's say, 6 7 months to wait to go into a um, you at least need 90 days. 28-day program don't work. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That don't even give enough time for your receptors to be cleared off. So you straight up need 90 days. But if you knew that you had a support system that was going to be there from fucking point A to point Z with you, how would you feel? 100%. I guarantee people would trust you more. There'd be more data. There'd be more rapport. Everything. More resilience. More empathy. More humbleness. More compassionate. It's just fucking ignorant, because you lost a fucking generation to COVID. We got lost, I don't know how many generations to screen times. Then you lost a generation to fentanyl. Like, we fucking, are we serious? Like, no one's sick of this shit yet? Fucking for real? And it's just common sense will fucking fix everything. Like, it's like, I don't understand. They want it set up like this because they just love to see people squirm and struggle. Always late for their fucking rent, getting eviction notice, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But, I'm done for the night. Tomorrow I'll come back with something. I didn't really hit you too hard with, like, my whole life story. It's pretty fucking wild. I can tell you that much. But that's for another time. Just always remember, cravings, whether it's 1 year or fucking 100 years, those cravings can pop up, and they will. The triggers will fucking pop up, and they will. But you'll be ready. You'll be able to hit that wave and ride it out. Like, I don't know. See, everybody's different. That's the thing. Everyone's different. Like, I don't let it bother me. So I don't even think about it. It's a past. I don't fuck that. And that's the thing. That's where a lot of people fuck up, is they're still stuck in the past. Now, straight up focus, fucking positivity, and straight up moving forward. That's what we do up with Hope, with Down with Dope. We're here to be serious, real, raw with you. You're not gonna sugarcoat it. It's enough is enough. That average waiting list to get into a I don't know, you say, look, any type of counselor, mental health, or fucking substance use, a psychiatrist, you're fucking, dude, 6 weeks anyways. But the average for this state is fucking 10. That's fucking horrible. Like, what the fuck? That's horrible. Like, people that's the whole thing, man. They get comfortable, because they've been at their job for 5 years, so they know all the loopholes and shit. So We all do it. You know, what the fuck? Just man up and fucking tell it how it is. Be straight up. But that's what we learn from. That's what we're. But just you got to make sure and remember, cravings will come, but you will survive it. You're not gonna die. Don't go fucking relapse because that ain't gonna do you no good. Besides, brought your arm off, maybe. I don't know. But everybody's journey is different. Everything happens for a reason, guys. If you really want it, you will find recovery. You know, it's as simple as that. You know, I can't say it any other fucking way. Straight up, you know. Thank you for stopping by. I'm done with this. I fucking just had to get it off my chest and let a few people learn some shit. I hope everybody has a good night. All right. Thank you very much. Maybe. I don't even know. My phone's on fire.